everybody, and welcome to the Florida Wrestling Association. My name's Mark Nolte. I'm joined by one half of the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair. And Brian, what a great lineup we've got today.
Absolutely, Mark. You know, FWA is continuing to bring great talent to the state of Florida, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Today, you're going to be seeing a matchup that may determine who's the #1 wrestler in the FWA. It's Steve Keirn against Mean Mike Enos. And then we've got the Southern Posse in action. They're going to take on the combination of Pepe, Prado, and Knuckle Sandwich. And our television main event, Brian, this may be the toughest feud in all of Florida. Scoot Andrews against Mr. Technical, Gorgeous Barry Horowitz.
And you know, that's one of the ones all the people have been waiting for. As Scoot Andrews said, Barry kicked the door in, and now he's in Scoot's house. So I'm anxious to see who the real owner of that house is going to be.
3 main event caliber matches, and they're all coming to you right after this.
Introducing first, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 275 pounds, Mean Mike Enos.
What a great matchup we have opening today's card on FWA. B. Brian Blair with me. My name is Mark Nolte, and we're going to open up with Mean Mike Enos, as just introduced by Johnny Gailey, going up against Steve Keirn.
And his opponent, he hails from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 215 pounds, Steve the Gator Keirn.
And Brian, as you like to say, Gator isn't a gimmick with Steve Keirn. This guy actually has hunted, I'm trying to remember how many alligators he told me he's killed.
Well, several. He was certainly one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, and I'm going to enjoy seeing what he does right now against Mike Enos.
Mike Enos displaying his strength. Now Keirn and Enos again are going to lock. Well, they're almost locked up. Instead, Enos captures half of a Greco-Roman knuckle lock and turns the knee into the midsection. Crotch-hold lift and backbreaker by Mean Mike Enos. And I think he caught Steve Keirn off guard there.
Well, you know, they're both having a good time right now. Keirn's got him laughing a little bit and smiling, and that's part of the psychology until he really pees him off, and then we'll see a little bit of more serious action, so to speak, here.
Brian, are you a little worried that Steve might be too focused on the Texas Hangman, who he's had this brutal feud with, and may not be as prepared for Mike Enos as he should be?
Well, you know, that's real possible, because I know, you know, him and Mike have gotten along for a lot of years. They've been buddies, but now Steve catches him in the sleep.
This is it. If you get the sleeper hold, if he locks it in, if he keeps Enos away from the ropes, this match is over.
Yeah, this is a great time to take advantage of the lightheartedness and kick into serious gear.
Here comes the Texas Hangman. How tired of Steve Keirn of every time he smashes on somebody, the Texas Hangman is there to beat him up.
Well, he's got to be. I tell you, I don't know why the Hangman's messed with Keirn like he has, but believe me, Keirn's got more tricks up his sleeve than Carter's got liver pills.
I don't know if Mike Enos could have made it to the ropes. If I'm Mike Enos, I'm upset at the Texas Hangman for costing him the disqualification.
Absolutely. I wouldn't blame Enos if he just floored the Texas Hangman. I mean, that's ridiculous. It did cost him, potentially costing him the match.
Well, I think they're... A couple of words exchanged. Enos does not look happy with that loss.
No, absolutely not. I mean, pretty much squashed his perfect record right here in the FWA.
And we will be back with more FWA action right after this.
Introducing first, from the Bronx, New York, weighing in at 220 pounds, Knuckles Sandwich. And his tag team partner, from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, Pepe, Prado.
All day long, big boy. All day long.
As you know, I had Pep Prado come out here. I don't think he knows it, Pep, but we had a nice match. And he's telling the Posse boys, talking a lot of trash. So once you come out here, be my partner. And so the Posse, you're back there. Come bring the heat, because we're waiting for you, boys.
And Pepe Prado answers the call. Knuckles Sandwich said that Pepe Prado proved to him last week he was a tough guy. And Knuckles Sandwich has picked Pepe Prado to be his partner against the Southern Posse.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the hell from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, weighing in at a total combined weight of 501 pounds. Gentleman Rick, Big Sonny T, the Southern Posse.
And the Southern Posse have never backed down from a fight in their life. Knuckles Sandwich calls them out, and here they are.
Yeah, I just heard what he said. We have never backed down from anybody. These guys think they've got a chance against us. I don't think so. You're going to try to make a name against us? No, sir. Rick!
Boys, you don't know what you're dealing with, pal. You're going to know in about 30 seconds we're going to come in here and we're going to cream you Southern style.
Here comes Big Sonny T, here comes Gentleman Rick, and it is on.
Well, there you go. You got a Pier 6 brawl in the words of Gordon Soley right here in the FWA in Sebring, Florida.
Well, you know, Brian, you've had all these guys telling each other how tough they are, and, you know, you always wonder, the fans always wonder, well, why don't these tough guys fight each other? Well, in the FWA, they do.
Absolutely, and as you can see, Prado and Knuckles got the stuff together right there. I can't believe they got the Posse out of whack because, believe me, that's a feat right there. These guys are polished. They know what they're doing. They're mean, and they're about ready to regroup, and let's see what happens here, Mark.
The Gentleman Rick just picked up a 2x4. Big Sonny T looks like he's going to start this off. Pepe Prado, the fastest man in the ring. And Brian, even if it's a fist fight, you've got to like the fact that the Southern Posse have fought together for so much longer.
Well, absolutely, and again, going back to what we talked about before is the fact that you've got an established team against two singles wrestlers who have joined forces, and always the established team has the advantage.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the fact that Pepe Prado and Knuckles Sandwich last week were opponents. Not quite this drastically, but you've done this before. You've teamed up with guys that you wrestled against in the past. Is there an advantage to knowing an opponent, someone like you know an opponent?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely an advantage there, but, you know, these guys are out for a paycheck, and they're out to impress the promoters, and whether it's tagging together or whether it's fighting against each other, it doesn't matter. They're out there to do the best they can and put on the tights and give it 100%, and that's just what Prado's doing, and that's just what Knuckles Sandwich is doing right now. They're giving Southern Posse all they can handle.
Pepe Prado, good patience on his part, waiting for the right moment to drop kick. Gentleman Rick in the back, the fastest man in the ring, Pepe Prado, and he just runs into a brick wall there. The cover, and Pepe Prado barely gets out from underneath him.
You know, Pepe Prado has really impressed me. I'll tell you, he did wrestle Knuckles last week. It was a great match, and every time I watch Pepe Prado, I get more and more impressed. There you go. That's what I'm talking about with the Southern Posse. They know each other's moves. They know what they're doing. They diverted the referee, and here they go. They're back on top.
You know, Brian, one of the things that have always been one of your strengths is your ability to keep your composure in the ring. Knuckles Sandwich just lost his composure right there, and his partner, Pepe Prado, is paying the price.
Absolutely, you cannot lose your composure. You got to be aware at all times, and you know, you've got to, and it just comes with experience, Mark. And Knuckles has been wrestling for a few years, not that long. He's primarily known as a barroom brawler.
Well, so are the Southern Posse, but Brian, I know this is going to sound weird, but you almost have to respect how good they are at breaking the rules. I mean, how talented they are at breaking the rules. They really almost turned into an art form.
Absolutely, Mark. I mean, that's what pro wrestling's been all about for many, many years. And Southern Posse, not only do they know how to break the rules, but these guys can wrestle too. I mean, I've seen them do some tremendous moves. I mean, they can suplex, they can small package, they can sunset flip, they can drop kick even. I mean, I'm telling you, Rick can absolutely throw a chin high drop kick. And for a big man, as big as he is, that's quite a feat.
And we mentioned this before, Sonny T may be in the best shape of his career. He looks great out there.
Absolutely. I mean, again, these guys aren't really into the gym situation. These guys are into shortcuts, like you can see Rick doing right now. And they're into teamwork. They're into making sure that that nobody's in the ring longer than a minute. That's their plan. I talked to them in the dressing room, and they said, we're going to make sure that neither one of us are in the ring longer than a minute, and hopefully for 30 seconds at a pop.
Actually, I think what they said is, we're going to make sure that neither one of us is in that ring for longer than there no minute.
Well, there you go. I think you heard the interview. Right now they got him on his heels, but Pepe's coming back. Pepe's tough now. I'm going to tell you, he's just like a Timex. He can take a licking and keep on ticking.
But I don't know how many more knees to the midsection he can take like that from Gentleman Rick. And look at Gentleman Rick. As soon as he hits the move, Brian, you called it. Goes right to the corner and tags in Big Sonny T.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, these guys know each other. As soon as they get tired, they're great at grabbing a hold. They're going to get a breather because they know right now that they're not going to outflash Pepe Prado. They got to beat him down, wear him out, and that's just what they're trying to do.
You know, Brian, you've been in this position before where you're the guy that's on the wrong end of the 2-on-1 double team.
Beautiful move by Pepe Prado. See, that's what I'm saying. He's got all the moves. The guy needs a couple breaks, and he is going to be right at the top of the cream of the crop.
What a smart veteran move by Big Sonny T. Instead of trying to hit another move, what he does is he leg dives Pepe Prado to keep Pepe Prado from making the tag, and immediately brings the fresh man, Gentleman Rick, back into the ring. And here comes Knuckles Sandwich. Knuckles Sandwich has had enough of waiting for the tag.
Well, they've broken off into a four-way now, and they're brawling. One posse's on top, and of course Pepe's rocking Sonny right now, and this should be interesting.
Well, Knuckles Sandwich has just gotten deposited to the floor. Here comes Gentleman Rick. Now, Big Sonny T and Pepe Prado to the floor. And Brian, this thing is broken down. Oh my goodness, what a chair shot.
Definitely a chair shot. Let me tell you something. These guys, no love lost for each other. I think they're going to be counted out here.
That's going to be the official decision. It's a count out. I'm heading for higher ground. As they're going to fight all the way back to the dressing room. What a combustible mixture. Knuckles Sandwich and Pepe Prado and the Southern Posse. We'll be back with Scoot Andrews and Barry Horowitz right after this.
From Jacksonville, Florida, he weighs in at 218 pounds. The Black Nature Boy, Scoot Andrews.
Scoot Andrews on his way to the ring. Scoot Andrews, this is the match you demanded.
Barry Horowitz, you got two choices. You can step aside or you can get run over. If you don't like it, deal with it.
Brian Blair, this is going to be an absolute war.
This is the one we've been waiting for, Mark. I'll tell you what, Scoot's fired up, and Barry Horowitz has kicked the door in as Scoot described, and he's in Scoot's house now, and I'm anxious to see who's going to be the landlord and who's going to be the tenant.
And his opponent, he hails from St. Petersburg, Florida, weighs in at 220 pounds. Mr. Technical, Barry Horowitz.
No showboating for Barry Horowitz. He's in the ring, and he's got a clobber Scoot Andrews from behind. See, Brian Blair, I said it earlier, but it's accurate here also. It is on.
It is on. I tell you what, he almost knocked Scoot right into the face, head first, right into the corner of that steel ring post, and he could have busted him wide open. I mean, this is all-out blood and guts right here.
And he follows that up with a gut-wrench salto, and he tried to take Andrews through the mat on that salto, Brian. European forearm uppercut by Barry Horowitz. Horowitz, who took a really controversial victory the first week of FWA action 5 weeks ago. We've been waiting for this rematch ever since. Barry Horowitz, I have never seen him this intense.
He is intense. I'll tell you what, Mark, he's definitely gotten under Scoot's skin. Scoot's gotten under his skin, and we've got a great brawl going on right now.
Barry Horowitz going to go to the air. Comes off the rope. Bench press up the Luthez press by Barry Horowitz. Tell me Barry Horowitz isn't fired up for this match. Gonna go for the second one. Missile drop kick off the second rope by Barry Horowitz. Horowitz using every move in his considerable arsenal to try to put Scoot Andrews out once and for all.
And you know, I thought he had him right there with the Lupez press, and that just goes to show you what kind of fortitude that Scoot Andrews has. He kicked out, he's still alive and kicking, and we got a lot of match left here.
Now Barry Horowitz is going to go to the floor. He's going to use that elbow almost like a guillotine to decapitate Scoot Andrews. Andrews' head has nowhere to go off that apron.
Yeah, and you know that Scoot broke his arm actually broke his wrist about 6 weeks ago. He's got the wrist heavily taped up. He's been favoring the wrist, but it hasn't slowed him down a bit. The only thing that's slowing him down right now is Barry Horowitz's offense.
And Barry Horowitz looks as good as Brian as I care to say I've ever seen him. And that's saying something because Barry Horowitz has had an outstanding career.
He sure has. I mean, a lot of people have talked about Barry, about being one of the most technical wrestlers, and he's certainly taken that to heat as he calls himself Mr. Technical.
Barry Horowitz now exchanging barbs with the crowd. I suggest he keep his attention on Scoot Andrews because Scoot Andrews, the one thing we've seen from Scoot is how much punishment he's capable of absorbing and coming back to win a match.
Absolutely. I mean, you can never count Scoot out till you hear the bell ring because Scoot has an arsenal that is awesome.
Ball and chain by Horowitz. Three-quarter Nelson with the leg grapevine, otherwise known as the ball and chain. And Brian, I know that's one of your favorite moves at the University of Louisville.
Well, I hate to correct you, Mark, but that's not actually a ball and chain. The ball and chain comes from the wrist underneath the crotch. But that was a three-quarter Nelson grapevine, which is an excellent pinning combination.
Reverse elbow by Barry Horowitz.
Give me your arm. I'll show you the ball and chain. This is a great match, Mark.
And it's a greater match for Barry Horowitz at this moment than it is for Scoot Andrews. As Barry Horowitz, Brian, I've said this before, you've seen more Barry Horowitz than I have. You faced the man before. Have you ever seen Barry Horowitz this focused?
Absolutely not. He's a man on a mission. Scoot's insulted him. Barry started the war. Scoot's taking it back to him. And both these guys are out, not only for the payday, but for the ego.
Almost a Garvin stomp there by Barry Horowitz. Horowitz whips Andrews into the ropes. Scoot catches him, fist to the midsection, crotch hold whip. Horowitz goes up and over. Forearm through the small of the back. Reverse DDT backbreaker combination. The cover, count of two.
Wow, what fortitude on part of Scoot Andrews. I'm telling you right now, I don't know how he kicked out of that. That was excellent execution by the man who calls himself Mr. Technical.
Have you ever seen a reverse DDT backbreaker combination like that?
Actually, I haven't. I mean, that was really sweet. Barry Horowitz gets more technical every time he steps into the ring.
And more vicious.
And more conceited because you can see the pat on the back. Barry Horowitz is full of himself.
Barry Horowitz whips Andrews into the ropes. He's going to go for the abdominal stretch. Standing guillotine, also known as the abdominal stretch by Barry Horowitz. Some of the fans are saying that Horowitz may be keeping this hold by using the trunks. I don't know if he is or not. It's hard to tell from this vantage point. But the question is how much more of this punishment is Scoot Andrews going to be able to absorb?
I don't know. Honestly, Mark, I don't know. I'll tell you, this kid impresses me every time I see him, as well as Mr. Technical Barry Horowitz. He is on his game tonight.
Right now, he's going to try to make Andrews submit to that abdominal stretch. The only thing I notice he's not doing is he's not locking his hand. Jack Briscoe always locked his hands on the abdominal stretch.
Also, Jack Briscoe was two-time national champion, and there's a little difference there, and that's a great technical point that you brought up, Mark.
Again with the abdominal stretch. This time he locks his hand.
Excellent call, excellent call. That's exactly the proper technique for the standing guillotine. And you know, as you get tired, as the match goes on, you forget, and now Barry Horowitz is going to one of his favorite things, a little shortcut. He's going from the ropes to the trunks while he's got the vantage point. The referee cannot see what's going on.
What is it that Barry Horowitz likes to say? If you're not cheating, then you're not really trying?
Yeah, that's one of his lines, Mark, and I guess he kind of lives up to that motto.
Brian, you've been in the abdominal stretch before. What's going through Scoot Andrews' body right now?
Exactly what he did. He reversed, trying to find an opening spot to reverse it, and that's exactly what he did. Now he's got Barry Horowitz exactly where Horowitz just had Andrews.
Height advantage by Barry Horowitz allows him to grab, goes into the lateral guillotine. Well, almost a variation of the lateral guillotine, rather. Scoot Andrews gets into the rope.
Absolutely, and it's a good thing he had the ropes right there because that was definitely a potential pinning combination right there.
Now Barry Horowitz, this is for you. Stomp to the midsection. We're going for the Northern Light suplex. That's going to be no. Scoot Andrews kicks out of the Northern Light suplex.
And let me tell you, that was a textbook Northern Light suplex. And every time I watch Barry Horowitz, he seems to be kind of like fine wine. He gets better with age. And I'll tell you what, Scoot Andrews has got all he can handle right now in Barry Horowitz.
Here comes the Texas Cloverleaf. Horowitz going to go for the submission. If he can get the Cloverleaf locked in, I don't think Andrews is going to make it to the ropes. I think he's going to get the submission here, Brian.
It certainly looks like it. I mean, that is one of the most vicious holds in wrestling, made famous by my friend Bret Hart.
The Texas Cloverleaf, popularized by Dean Malenko, as opposed to the sharpshooter, popularized by Bret Hart.
Actually, you're wrong, Mark, because Bret Hart was the one that showed Dean Malenko, for your information, that particular hold.
Well, this is the Garvin Stomp as Barry Horowitz. Brian, one of the things that people don't understand about that Cloverleaf, it's a hard hold to keep. It takes a lot out of you to apply that hold as well, which is why he drops the hold here.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised if he went into a sharpshooter, which again was made famous first by Bret Hart and has been copied by many, many people.
I thought Dean Malenko showed Bret Hart how to use that sharpshooter.
Wow, well, after this, we'll have a history lesson, Mark.
Abdominal stretch, the standing guillotine by Barry Horowitz. And again, I just don't know how much more punishment Scoot Andrews is going to take. Explain to the fans what this hold's doing to Scoot Andrews' body. Hip toss by Scoot Andrews to break it. Andrews. Drop kick by both men go down.
These guys are going at it. I mean, this is textbook wrestling here. This has been a fine match. I mean, they're going tit for tat right now, and I'm anxious to see who the first man up is going to be, Mark.
Maybe neither man's going to get up. Of course, Scoot Andrews has absorbed a lot more punishment in this match, which is probably why Horowitz is able to get up first.
Notice Barry's eye, man. I mean, he's been in a fight, and he knows it, and he's wobbling right now. Scoot's coming up. Both these men are disoriented, and I'm anxious to see Barry's patting himself on the back. He thinks he won the match.
Well, this match, we are rapidly running out of television time. We're going to keep with this match just as long as we possibly can. As Barry Horowitz goes up to the top rope. Scoot Andrews with a desperation move dumps Barry Horowitz into the nether regions. Now he's got Horowitz up on the top rope. And Scoot Andrews trying to rally here.
He sure is. He's making a heck of a comeback right now. I can tell right now that Scoot's kicking it into high gear. There's no way he wants to lose this match.
Flying hip attack by Andrews. Andrews takes him into the top rope. Andrews with the scissors kick. Let's stay with this as long as we can. He is the Brian Blair. I am Mark Nolte. We're going to stay with this just as long as we possibly can. Andrews with the rally. Andrews brings him to the rope. We are out of time. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.